here we are at the finale of the final season, watching the opening credits for the final time. Sitting the opening credits of this show has become so comforting to me. I know I can always find a flaw somewhere in the full 2 minutes of prelude, because that's just how life is, right? If you want to find something wrong, you can always find it and justify it to yourself and even point it out to others. So thank you, Game of Thrones, for having credits so long that there's always some shit to make up and giving us this weekly moment together. The episode opens up on 1 minute and 51 seconds of Tyrion, Jon, and Davos walking. Also, Tyrion isn't wearing a mask to avoid breathing in the charred remains of men, women, and children in this scene. It's a little hard to buy how much Dany's actions affected Tyrion and Jon when they can't even bother to help this guy passing them. At least give him aloe or something. Would aloe help? Just stop and assist the man before his skin falls off. There are skeletons in the foreground of this building that was directly on Drogon's dragonfire path, meaning the dragonfire was so hot it entered a building and melted the muscle and connective tissue, leaving the bones behind. This makes me wonder how the corpses in the street still have their tissue intact, considering those people had no cover at all. Jon survives this. The writers were like, the foundation of the map room cracks open, symbolically showing a divide. And the props department was like, bricks everywhere. If you think you've added too many or that they're on top of something of storytelling importance, well, you are wrong. More bricks. When you wonder how this episode managed to be movie length, just remember they chose to show Tyrion picking up a torch rather than just get to him walking down the stairs with a torch. We can put 2 and 2 together and figure out he found a light source. So Tyrion confirms the end of his family's lineage and uses his super instincts to dig through a rubbled keep and get directly to his sibs. Then he turns around and gets back in time to hear Dany's speech, which convinces him she's turning mad. Did I? What the f*** that right? Maybe I should have paid attention in castle masonry class at fantasy world building school, but where did all the rubble come from? The floor above? A buckled wall? Right now it just appears that there's random self-standing piles of brick that aren't from an important load-bearing archway or something. Pan up and show me the hole in the floor to justify how they're laying on top of a massive pile of bricks. Or cover my tuition and send me back to school. You know, honestly, they look really good for being crushed by the weight of all the bricks in this castle. That's not how CPR works. And now, because we have time, we will watch Jon take every single step along this path to the Queen. Do you like feet? Well, boy, are you going to love all the walking we have in store for you today. How did Worm get up here so fast? He was slitting throats a few minutes ago and Jon went directly to find Dany. Unless even the fictional characters aren't feeling a sense of timing and decided to take a tea break rather than show us how this all ends. Oh, shit. All hail one of the best shots of Queen Dany in the series. But also I blame this shot for the spike in angel wing murals popping up for photo ops in all major cities. Dear Sin Diary, today I spent 30 minutes watching braiding tutorials on YouTube in order to confidently say that Rapunzel Targaryen has approximately 50 yards of hair on her head, and her posture will be horrible if she isn't highly focused on keeping the weight distributed properly. I find it all too convenient that Dany's army remnants fit perfectly in this courtyard. I bet Drogon munched extra people, just to be sure it had a cinematic aesthetic. I like to think the Dothraki stop and look at Dany in awe because they can't believe her voice can carry all this way so clearly. Did Dany and Drogon rehearse this speech together? Because it's either that or Drogon has really awesome dramatic dragon timing.
What are you doing here?
He sure did say, how the f*** did you get up the massive set of stairs past an army without being noticed, strangely.
And I know a killer when I see one.
And because Arya says so, we're supposed to follow suit and turn our Dany adoration to disgust? Without actually seeing much more than a wink at her madness? I think so. I mean, not. I don't trust anything happening right now.
Our queen doesn't keep prisoners for long.
Which makes me ask the question, why is Tyrion still alive? They were lining up soldiers on the street and slicing their necks like it was a normal deli slice Tuesday. Why does Tyrion get to live any longer? Dany even warned him the last time she would kill him if he betrayed her again.
My father was an evil man. My sister was an evil woman. Pile up all the bodies of all the people they ever killed. There still won't be half as many as our beautiful queen slaughtered in a single day.
Ha, the old game of my father and sister might have murdered a lot of people, but they aren't as murdery as your girlfriend/aunt. I know it all too well. Wait.
Everywhere she goes, evil men die, and we cheer her for it.
Well, that's your fault, show, for making her so damn amazing. I wonder why Jon is allowed to talk freely to Tyrion without someone else keeping an eye on them. Jon tried to stop Grey Worm from killing prisoners of war, and Dany knows Jon is the one true king. Certainly someone is suspicious enough to eavesdrop as Tyrion hard hints at a Dany assassination. This scene just made me think of a joke. What's Jon's middle name? It's walking in the... Get it? Jon walking in the snow? Because it's... in... Hey, don't blame me. Blame the finale for being so boring I'm trying to fill the emptiness with something entertaining. As amazing as this looks, I refuse to believe a fucking dragon would be cold enough to accumulate layers of snow. Can't verify this by research because this is a fantasy world, but this fantasy world is about to show this same dragon melt the shit out of an iron throne. So you know Drogon runs warm. Dany gets to see the throne for the first time and realize what she's accomplished, blah, blah, blah. But what I can't figure out is why there are no guards with Dany. She's been walking all over the city with guards in tow. Makes no sense why they wouldn't be up here with her now. There could be some straddlers hiding up here ready to strike. Not to mention, because there are conveniently no guards, Jon is able to kill her with ease.
You are my queen. Now and always.
Which will only be a few more seconds, but Jon is an asshole and doesn't clarify that. Inserting to the hilt without explicit consent. The end. Overkill. Looking away from a dragon that's still considering its calorie intake for the day and determining your snack potential. We find out shortly that Jon was arrested for murdering Dany shortly after this, but how were they able to even prove it? Drogon took her away, so unless Jon was dumb enough to confess, he could have easily said she rode off on Drogon and he had no clue where she was going. But Jon probably is dumb in love enough to confess. The next 30 seconds are dedicated to Tyrion's thoughtful expression, rather than giving us 30 seconds of Dany revealing a few more surefire reasons she was beyond redeemable.
Say another word about killing my brother and I'll cut your throat.
Threatening to murder someone in front of so many witnesses. If Yara comes back one day with a slit throat, Arya better hope she's got a rock-solid alibi.
There is land in the Reach. Good land. The people that used to live there are gone. Make it your own. Start your own house with the Unsullied as your bannermen.
Grey Worm and the Unsullied have all been castrated. There's no way for them to procreate and start a house and have any kind of family legacy. This isn't the great offer that Davos thinks it is.
Everyone has heard enough words from you.
You're right.
And yet the finale will continue to give us maximum Tyrion talks. If the end story is about the Stark children, then why not let them have their speeches and screen time? And if this story isn't about Ned's bloodline changing the future of Westeros, then what are we even doing here?
You're the most powerful people in Westeros. Choose one.
This works.
Uncle, please sit.
Embarrassing uncles.
He crossed beyond the wall, a crippled boy, and became the three-eyed raven.
Whatever that means.
A still night's watch.
The world will always need a home for bastards and broken men.
You mean exiles and people deemed to be a threat to bloodlines? Yeah, great wheel breaking there, show.
You shall take no wife, hold no lands, father no children.
And all of this will be policed by precisely no one.
No one is very happy.
Except Tyrion, I would assume, considering he gets to walk free while Jon has to serve a life sentence at the Night's Watch.
Was it right? What I did? It doesn't feel right.
Questions the writers had for George R.R. Martin somehow make it into the episode.
Ask me again in 10 years.
Are they foreshadowing the release of another Game of Thrones series in 10 years? They are, aren't they? No! Audience at home, don't turn that dial. From the show that delivered riveting dialogue that's propelled you from slump to slump throughout this episode, they bring you to Brienne, reading a fucking book. Okay, but why turn the page to continue writing when there's so much more room down here? Jaime's entry here in the Book of Brothers reads, he took River Run from the Tully rebels without loss of life. The corpse of Brynden Blackfish Tully might have something to say about that. Forgetting the dot on the lowercase j. Of all the shows to forget the tittles. Yeesh. She spelled sister wrong. Wait, no. Lover. She spelled lover wrong. Wait, no. Mother is... There is zero chance that ink had dried yet, so all the writing Brienne just completed is now a smudge.
What's this?
A song of ice and fire.
Roll appendixes.
And Drogon? Any word?
No, that's still a terribly unoriginal name for a dragon. Oh, you were asking if anyone had spotted him. I see. But I still stand by what I said about the name thing.
The Master of Coin looks forward to helping the Master of Ships.
Speaking in the third title.
I once brought a jackass and a honeycomb into a brothel.
Are Tyrion's final words in this series. Careful, Jon. Remember, you can't take a wife. The end. The cinematic angles cut thematically between the siblings, except for Bran. Bran, who could be fucking warging right now, by the way. His siblings walk, but Bran rolls and flies, and why aren't we seeing any of that? The end? No, not really the end, though. Where's Bran riding Drogon like Falcor style through the air with his fist raised? Come on, Thrones, come on! Ah!
Shame! Shame! Shame!
So, how was Burning Man?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
It's over. These men are prisoners.
This isn't over until I say it's over!
Sorry, okay, relax, dude.
Yeah, I can fly.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes till the biggest battle of our professional lives.
Did you bring any wine?
No.
I am not drinking any fucking Merlot!
Shall not pass!
Doctor?
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 Stop looking at me, Swan!
That part's even more beautiful. I